Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so I'm just leaving Lydia's office. Therapy session went well. We used the entire hour. And we concluded that I could be qualified for ADHD. Which I don't think... I never thought of myself as the understanding of having ADHD. But what I'm coming to understand is that definition has broadened some since I last understood it to be. And it's not just about what you can focus on, but what you're willing to focus on. And that's where I struggle, is what spaces I'm willing to walk into as it pertains to what stresses me out, what interests me, what doesn't. My willingness to focus on things that I'm not interested in, and how often I'm willing to challenge myself in that way. So by that criteria, I think I fit what they're saying. So I was like, oh, okay, I never knew that was a thing. So I always thought it was more so about the inability to focus, not necessarily what you would choose to focus on. So by that definition, yeah, I think I'm a strong case of that. And I think that's where I struggle the most, is choosing things. It's choices. Choosing things that could better help me. You know, and then we talked about different levels of health. For example, you can take care of your mind, take care of your body, but if you're not taking care of your finances, then it's gonna hurt the overall aspect of health or whatever. You know what I mean? That the various different degrees of health. So in emphasizing some aspects of your health, but not emphasizing the entire spectrum of being healthy, you can still find yourself unhealthy. And so that's really what it's all about, is just respecting that there are aspects of health that need to be addressed that maybe I haven't necessarily prioritized. So, you know, I thought it was good. I thought it was a very good session. And we're going to try to approach the situation based on the idea that I may be qualified for that based on the test that I did today for ADHD. So I think it's I always look at myself as a very unique mind. I may be wrong about that, but I think a lot of how we answered them questions was based on isolation, not necessarily how frequent certain things would take place if I were in certain environments, but that I'm not in those environments at all. So that, for example, if it's a scale between always to never, the answer to some of the questions are never based on the questions having to do with interacting with other people and how very little interaction I actually do with others. So I wanted her to understand, that's, a lot of these answers are skewed. And if I lived with others, or if I had a job where I'm working with others, or if I'm in a space where I'm communicating with people regularly, some of these questions would be answered differently based on the frequent nature of some of these events. But because they're not happening, it's just by default going to be never. You know what I mean? So it's like, how much is this? Do I qualify for a lot of this? Because she kept on putting never on certain things. It's more like not applicable for a lot of those answers. So that's why I'm kind of wondering, do I really have ADHD, or is it just the way that we have to answer these questions force me into looking like I have ADHD? When the reality is I'm not even involved in some of these things don't even happen in my life these days. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it is. I think they're going to find that more of what my issue is not necessarily about how I interact with others, but more so how much I would choose to not, if that makes any sense. Not the criteria of what happens when I deal with others, but that I don't deal with others very much. So it's like, I think that's really what the crux of my conversation is really about, is the choice to be isolated, the desire to find comfort in spaces where others would feel lonely. That's really where the problem is. A lot of people will define what it is that I find very comfortable as isolated and all alone, and that has a sadness attached to it. Because of the events of my existence, my life, I want to be alone. I don't equate a lot of peace and happiness with others. I equate being teased. I equate that. You know what I'm saying? It's a different way of looking at the world through my lens, based on some of the insecurities that I had as a child, some of them events that were so bad in the presence of so many. So it was like, I think that's probably where the crux of really my issues are. It's not in being, having struggles with others. It's the choice to just stay away from them entirely. and how comfortable I am in my own skin. So while I'm not in the presence of other people. So I think that's what it is, man. I would love to figure it out and get some answers for that so that I can, you know what I mean, go forward healthy. I told her one of the last things I said walking out of there was, I don't know what it looks like for my mind to be healthy. I don't know what that looked like. I would love to see what a healthy-minded Brandon looks like, because I really don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't know it if I saw it. And so, you've been a certain way your whole life, you don't really know what anything else would be in regards to yourself. Like, you know, what does it look like if I were balanced in a way that y'all would deem balanced? I don't know what that looks like. So that's really what it is, man. It was good to get a therapy session for the first time in over a month. And I got another one coming up on the 28th. It's a Wednesday, 29th. 2 weeks from tomorrow. Or rather, 2 weeks from Wednesday. Today's Monday. So that's what it is, man. We'll get back in the swing of things. She's back from her vacation. It was good to speak with her. It's a good session. And that's pretty much all I got. BDF 44. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.